how are you? I wanted to have a chat to you about meditation and learning meditation. And I wanted to talk to you about a key skill to do with learning meditation, and that's observing. And one of the things about observing is it's a skill we need to master. It sits nicely with the whole concept of not trying. And it also sits nicely with the whole concept of perception and changing perception and giving yourself space to allow the process to happen. So what we're talking about is the ability to sit and watch without making any judgments, without making any assessments, just letting it play out. So often when we're having the meditation experience, we're getting imagery or we're getting feelings or we might be getting different perceptions. And when we first start, we're really trying almost desperately to make sense of these. And this is so not what we need to be doing. We just need to be letting everything evolve and happen. Meditation is not something that we can necessarily control. Meditation is about allowing the mindscape, to explore freely what it wants to explore, to connect with the higher self and just allow that experience of having a really lovely conversation with your inner self, your true self. And that's what we're trying to do in meditation, as well as, of course, have a lovely, relaxing experience. So often people come to me and they say, I'm seeing this, I'm experiencing that. Look, sometimes it's monochrome faces, sometimes it's colors, sometimes it's just a whole series of visuals. And they're saying to me, what does this mean? What does this mean? And to me, it's like, well, sometimes it's not an actual meaning. Sometimes it's just something that is coming in to being and it's just being shown to you. And it's not necessary that at that instant, at that point, that what's being shown to you is meaning. This is not an instantaneous program like watching the television and going, okay, we're watching this and this is going to happen and this leads to that and this leads to that and it's all scripted out. No. This is a little conversation between you and your higher self. When we first begin, we don't have the language right. We haven't had the experience before. We don't know how to actually communicate with ourselves. So we need to learn that. We don't know how we like to receive messages or how we should be receiving messages. So we just need to allow that to happen so we begin to understand that. And this is where observing comes in, because to observe something is just to allow it to unfold without making any judgments, without drawing any conclusions, and without feeling the pressure to make sense of something. As soon as we feel any obligation to make sense of something, to interpret, to judge, to assess, then we're really not in the meditative experience anymore. We've gone straight into the conscious mind, we've gone straight into the outer cortex, and we're trying to reference the imagery and the feelings and what we're getting to what we already know from our past, which is a fallacy because we're moving into a new experience. The mind and us as beings, when we're starting, we have no reference for meditation because it's new. So we're having to take it back to stuff that happened in the past, to old paradigms, so we get confused about what it means. So what I want you to do in your practice is take on just observing. Just let it unfold. Let it just sit with it and stop seeking meaning. Meditation is a long-term project, particularly if you want to develop your own meditation practice. If you're sitting with a great meditation master and they're giving you a guided meditation, then it's a little bit different. I mean, you will be seeing images and you will be able to discuss and see what those images mean most of the time. Sometimes you won't. It's a lot of letting stuff sit, have its own time, have its own maturity, and let it find its own voice. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about in terms of observing. Really, we've got to take the pressure off this evolutionary process. It's not an instantaneous gratification process. It's allowing you to evolve as an individual, and this takes time. So just take the pressure off. So when you're sitting there having your meditation and you're starting to get feelings or imagery or even auditory, just allow it to happen and allow it to evolve. Our mind is amazing. It will hold on to these things that are important without you having to hold on to them. It will do the work for you. So just allow yourself to sit and watch without feeling the pressure to make sense of it. Because the first time you do this, there might not be any sense to it. It may take a while for you to see the pattern, for you to gain the understanding, for it to make sense. So that's one of the things I just wanted to give to you about observing. Okay. Take care. See you later. Enjoy your meditation. You've got any other questions, you can always drop them down below. Okay. Bye-bye.